All right. It's Bonanza time, ladies and gentlemen. Did I just mess up my audio? I think I did. Oh, goodness me. Oh, brother. I hope I didn't mess up the sim audio for you guys on the stream. I just moved a slider that I wasn't supposed to move. Anyway, we are live in the A36 Bonanza. This is going to be a fun one, guys. I messed with this airplane a little bit this morning. Just kind of getting familiar with it, make sure my bindings were set, because we haven't flown this version yet. This is the turbo normalized A36, and basically what that does is going to maintain our manifold pressure of 30 inches up until it can't anymore, but it's going to be more so than a naturally aspirated with no turbocharger. So I got to tell you, though, flying this thing around, I love the turbine one, but man, I don't know. There's something about this particular one that I fell in love with. I don't know if it's the wing tips or the radar pod or just the way it feels when you fly it. I don't know. This is a very special variant as well. So I've come along with me on this ride. It's going to be a fun one. We're going from right where we left off. We're at the same parking spot here in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. We're going up to the Dam 3 Whiskey 7, which looks really awesome. And then we're going to continue our second leg just south of Mount Rainier to a little place called Redwood Park. I think the runway is technically closed, but it looks like a fun little challenging strip to fly into. So if we have time, we'll make it all the way there. We're just going to chill. We're going to go through the manual on this one. We're just going to sit back, relax, and fly turboprops because, yes, I like flying the F-28. Yes, I like flying jet stuff sometimes, but, man, I am on a prop kick right now, and this is what's brought my life back to the sim, because there was a moment there where I'm like, I don't even really want to sim today. I don't want to sim. I don't want to fly anything. But this has got me back at it. So I'm ready. We're going to skip the shout-outs. We're going to get right to it. Joe Plays Tout Ray, thank you for the 34-month support. Pacific Northwest Turbo. Yes, indeed. Nothing better than a bow. I tell you what, Zach, appreciate all the support, man. These airplanes are going to be special. They're going to be very, very special for y'all when you get your hands on them. There's just something about them. I mean, Blacksquare, every time he releases an airplane, you don't think it can get any better, it just keeps getting better. So Mickey G, my man, what's going on? Imagine island hopping. Oh my goodness, with the Caribbean. Yes, dude, I want to island hop with the turbine one. I want to do some Caribbean island hopping in the turbine Bonanza that we flew yesterday. Man, that thing is a freaking rocket. So all right. What looks sweet with the tip tanks? I totally agree, man. The tip tanks on this thing is just yeah, it's beautiful. So we'll go ahead and start. We'll start with completely cold and dark, except I loaded it on ground with engine off, and like the engine was running, and then I shut it off. So we might have a little fuel in the cylinders we'll have to deal with. But we'll go ahead and pull our chocks. We'll do a little pre-flight walk here. Tip tanks are a must-have. I agree. The tip tanks make this airplane awesome. We can't move our ailerons because our gust lock is on, so we'll come around the tail section here. I went to A&P school twice with a twice retired naval dentist, and he had an amazing Bonanza. Well, you know what they call the Bonanza? It's the doctor killer, right? So, but I think those relies to the V-tails. All right, let's go ahead and open up this door here, and then we'll open up this door here. We got beautiful interior on this one. Wait till you guys check out this panel. I'm gonna hop in here. We'll pull the, we will pull the plug. I'm gonna turn the sim sounds all the way up for you guys. All right, let's go ahead and pull the gust lock off here. Yoke will slide forward. We'll open up this window here. Now we'll go back out real quick, and we'll do that. And actually, you know what we should do? We should do a proper pre-flight. So let's come in here. Let's go battery switch on. Let's get all of our lights on. Taxi, landing, strobe, beacon, nav. Right, and then we'd come outside, walk around, because we might be flying into the sunset again. I ran the time forward. There's the strobe. It is in there. I'm stuck. Yep, strobe is in there. Just kind of hard to see with the sun right now. I ran the sim time forward to 3:09 p.m. So it's 3:09 local time here in the sim. Our lights appear to be working. And we'll check our nose lights here. Landing and taxi. Beautiful. Okay. Yeah, the texturing is awesome on this Turk. It's absolutely awesome. We'll go ahead and turn all those off. We'll save the battery. But what we can do is, I'll tell you what, let's do our little pre-flight plan here. Our mags and bow still. Oh, that's from loading in. Okay, we'll close that. Let's do our pre-flight loading here in the flight planner first. So we're going to start up here, Coeur d'Alene. All right. Add departure airport, KCOE. And our first destination is 3 Whiskey 7. We'll throw that in there, which is Grand Collieu Dam, 91 miles. It's a straight shot. What I will do is let's pull out the sectional charts, see what kind of airspace we got to deal with here. The route is pinned at the top of the description there. I think this variant will be my favorite, but you never know. I know it's every time I fly one, it's my new favorite variant. I don't know. We'll see after this stream, because I do love the turbine. The sounds on the turbine, Bonanza, and just I don't know, man. It's special. It's super special. But let's see how this one does. This will be our first full flight in it. So Coeur d'Alene, KCOE. Can I just type you? KCOE. Add to route. Okay. Coeur d'Alene, and then destination is 3 Whiskey 7. Add to route. Alright, we'll hide this. We don't need that for right now. Let's come down here and just take a look at the EFB flight planner. So if we depart Coeur d'Alene, VFR, we've got some controlled class Charlie airspace here that we want to avoid. And then it's pretty much smooth sailing all the way into 3 Whiskey 7. So, how can we avoid this airspace? Looking at it, we'll take off and we're going to fly over. I was going to try to do a straight VFR with no nav. We're going to just stay over the water. It's a couple little lakes there, Newman Lake. And when we get to this river here, so class Charlie, it's between 37 and 64. If we go at 35, if we stay at 35, it's pretty low though. We'll stay at 35 as low as we can, and we'll make sure we stay north of this river at all times. And then we might climb. We're going to have to climb up a little bit because this is, 3,500 foot peak. This is that's only 1,500 feet above the ground. So we'll do our best. There's a class Delta there up to 45. Yeah, we just got to stay north. I'm trying to see if we can take off and just fly to a landmark. I don't know this area very much. I think we'll be fine. We know it's a 263 direct out of here. We'll just stay way north of the city. We'll have fun with it. All right, nothing crazy, nothing fancy. I like our flight plan. We'll put that away. Let's go ahead and get this thing ready to fire up. We got, well, let's load it up. What are we going to take today? So we're rocking the 530. As far as payload is concerned, we got 2 pilots in there. We got 4 passengers in the back. We're at 3,400 pounds. How's our current fuel? We got, you can see I flew it a tad, 8, 17, 20, and 8. That gives us 3.1 hours endurance, which is plenty good. 597 miles, which is plenty good. So we'll just leave it as that and just burn it. Now our CG is pretty far aft. I had to empty that baggage. But I guess if you didn't have the tip tanks, or if you were in the non-turbo normalized, you couldn't even use these rear seats because the CG becomes an issue. So I'm going to keep the same payload as we had. We're 600 pounds below max takeoff weight. Density altitude shouldn't be too crazy. It's nice and cool out here today. So we'll close that. I like the way it's loaded up. And let's fire it up. So we'll get the battery switch on. We'll get the beacon switch on. We'll close the passenger door back here. How are the sounds? Oh, Fighter, Boris Audio Works, man. They're amazing. Amazing sounds all the way around. All right, so we're idle forward cutoff. We're just going to use a quick shot of prime. So that's coming up. That's coming up. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,004. Bring you back. Bring you back. Turn you off. Crack said throttle. And let's see if we can't get this thing fired up. Right, left, both. Clear prop. Ooh, 1,000 RPM. Bring it down a tad. Oh my gosh, that sound. Crack that mixture back. 1,000 RPM. Look at the gyroscope physics there, the attitude indicator. Love it. Alternators coming on. Standby alternator. Master avionics. Switch. What's the temperature? It's 48 degrees. It's cold. We don't need any air or heat on the ground. We'll just make sure we have our leather jackets on. We'll close this passenger door. Make sure our trim set in the green. Trim is 0. Avionics is booting up. We got our altitude. I'm going to set 3,500 just to see what it looks like once we get airborne. 3,500 feet is set because we're sitting at, oh shoot, that's going to be just above pattern altitude. We're going to be scud running. We're at 2,300 feet right now. Let's close the window while we get everything booted up. Beautiful. We'll let that do its nav thing. This is off. We're standby. Let's go ahead and VFR standby on the on that right now. So that is good. Come down here, taking a look at everything. Fuels are good. We should be on the right tank. So let's go ahead and switch to the right tank right now. Right tank, we'll burn that one. I'm going to just have these all the way up for when it does start to get dark. All right, we'll hide the yoke there. What is that? Oxygen switch is off. We're refilled. We're looking good there. All right. Acquiring satellites. We can do a little flight control check. Beautiful. And wait for the satellites to come to life here. Look at that vertical speed just bouncing on the ground there ever so slightly. Is there any, let's see, referencing VORs we can dial in here? Yeah, we can reference the Coeur d'Alene VOR, which is 108.8. Let's throw that on 108.8, and if we roughly did, we got to stay north of 263. Let's stay north of the 265 radial. Alright, that looks good. For runways, let's go back to our flight planner. Let's see what the weather's doing here. Information at Coeur d'Alene. Winds are 160 at 4. It's a beautiful day. Temperature 11 degrees. So if I go to the charts, FAA charts, airport charts, diagram, we're over here on the ramp. We're going to blast off of, well, it's 140, right? We could take an intersection departure. We could probably take Bravo. Let's go off the ramp. We'll do a quick taxi over to Bravo. Blast off northbound. Should be good, right? Or southbound, rather. Then we got to make a right turn. You can fly through Class Charlie. I'm just simulating that we're not going to talk to anybody on this flight. We're just going to fly VFR and no radio communication or anything like that. So I tell you what, I won't even put the flight plan in the box. We should, just so we have mileage, right? We'll just do this real quick. We'll go Kilo Charlie Oscar Echo, and then we'll do our whole flight plan. First destination 3 Whiskey 7, 3 Whiskey 7, and then after that our final destination is 55 Sierra. Cool. There we go. We'll just get a little bit of information that way. Zoom you in so I can see the airport diagram. Very cool. All right. Let's go. Brakes released. Taxi lights on. 48 degrees in here. It should warm up, right? J3 Cub, no radio time. Exactly. I just want to get this thing airborne and just hand fly it, man. Low level. Does the weather radar work? It sure does. It's in standby right now. I'll tell you what, let's do a run-up. We'll do a full run-up. So let's go down to the run-up pad. We'll skip the intersection departure. We'll do a full run-up. Wasn't there an add-on that had condensation in the cockpit? Condensation in the cockpit? I don't know about that one. I do know that this airplane is subject to stiction on your needles. So you got to tap the glass if you're not quite getting the right reading. Maybe something is sticking. Does it come with Tornado Alley STC? What's up, Gus? How you doing, man? You ready to lose the Cowboys this weekend? This is native 2024, Turk. So there's two versions. There's a 2020 version, and then there is a 2020 native version, and it is native, Turk. It is. The suspension feels so good, too. Feels legit. All right, we'll come here. We'll set the brake. Let's run through some checklists. Let's run through a proper run-up checklist on this one. We have taxi light off. Let's go to the aircraft checklist page. After start, make sure I didn't miss anything. Oil pressure in the green, it is. And we'll do all that here in the run-up as desired, as desired, as desired. Cool, run-up check. Let's do a full run-up. We'll close the window. All right, park brake is set. Annunciators, test. Boom, annunciators, test. Let's run these through. Remote compass is slave. That checks mixture full rich coming up. Throttle 1700 RPM. So here we go. Let's go ahead and juice it up. Look for 1700 RPM. Listen to that turbo. 15, 16, little more. 1700 RPM. Listen to that turbo spooling. Goodness. Exercise propeller, 300 RPM drop. Beautiful. It's cold out. Let's do 3 of them. Oh, I forgot to give you the full experience with the Boeing cam. There we go. All right, propeller check magnetos. 150 RPM drop. Let's check the right side. Back to both. Left side. Back to both. Check. Instrument air in the green. There she is. Instrument air is in the green. Primary alternator off. Primary alternator off. Load meter. Secondary. Oh. Wait. Hold on. Screwed that up. Turn that off. No, I don't want to look at you. Turn it off. Stop looking. Load meter secondary. Screws with my views when I do that. Alternator load increase. How you want me to increase the alternator load? Okay. I'm not sure what I'm looking for here. Oh, geez, there it is. There we go. Primary alternator off. And it jumps. Okay, there you go. You see it jump? No. Not sure what I'm looking for there. That's right, we'll skip it. Standby alternator illuminated. Which it is not. Oh. I'm not getting a standby illuminator. Enunciator. Oh my gosh, I'm looking at the damn load meter, chat. I'm moving this switch instead of the alternator. There you go. There's standby alternator. There we go. Move that to secondary. There's the alternator load jump. Beautiful. Okay, go back to primary. There. We'll keep you back on. Goodness me. All right, load meter is primary. Primary alternator, standby alternator on. Alternator load above 25 amps. Check. Propeller heat coming on. Propeller heat, which is right here. Boom, prop amps through the roof. Check. Propeller heat off. Check. Throttle back to 1,000. Well, we really warmed up our engine. There we go. That's all right. We want to get it nice and warm. All right, electric trim exercise. Dee-dee-dee. Check. Autopilot, we're going to skip the test. It works. Force feedback, heading degrees. You would do that, then you would engage it. Yoke movement, observe, and then you would disconnect it, which we tested. A little bit funky with the force feedback because force feedback will automatically fight it and turn it off. All checks. Elevator trim, flaps not required for takeoff. Windows closed. Aft door enunciator is extinguished. Check. Flight controls free and correct. Altimeters, departure altitude set 3,500 feet. Heading dim for takeoff, park brake release. Okay, we are done with that. Before takeoff, 24C min, that checks. We're in the green above that. Aux fuel pump off, it is off. Air conditioning off. Landing light, transponder, weather radar. Takeoff checklist. Okay, just make sure there's no fuel pump requirements here or anything like that. All right, so we're at takeoff. Throttle, brakes, flaps, autopilot, max power. We're going to go en route climb power is what we're going to be doing next. So that's all ready. The Airbus in me is showing. I know, Mickey G. I know. I'm over there like, well, I don't understand what alternator's happening. I do want to bind 2 more wing views. So I got those 2 views. I want to bind this wing view right here. Actually, maybe this one. Let's do this one a little bit closer to the flap. We'll do a flap view. So that's going to be that view, and then we're going to just come right across the cabin and bind that view there. There we go. So I've got cockpit views, so like forward left, forward right, direct left, direct right, and then 2 wing views. All right. Let's go have some fun. Runway heading for us is going to be 240. Spin you around. I'm feeling so motivated. Maybe I should make fake radio calls. Quarter lane traffic, bearing 408 Delta Delta, departing runway 24. Straight out departure. All right, strobe light, taxi, landing lights coming on. Let's go, baby. It's got a little dark, so the panel light's on underneath. All right, let's not pull a pentacle and line up on the wrong runway here. So we're going to come all the way to 24. See a little bit of a crosswind there. It's getting a little bit hot. Let's go half. Actually, it should be full open for takeoff, right? Full open for takeoff. All right. Let's do it. Nah, we're not cooking. It was cold. We warmed them up. We warmed them up real good, Gus. Oh. Did I want 20 or 24? I wanted runway 20. I said 24. I wanted 20. Abort. Thanks for the... I saw the heading bug there. I literally just said don't do what they did. We're good. All right, here we go. Now we get 2 spool ups. Toga, throttle to Toga. Smoothly advance it. Here we go. Airspeed's alive. A little bit of a crosswind from the left. Look at that power. Nice, easy rotation through 80 knots. Comes up so beautifully. Positive brake. Gear up. Love it. 100 knots, flaps if we had them. We don't. Let's go ahead and throw our headset on. All right, let's go ahead and make a right turn. We want to stay north of that course line, right? That's all we're looking for. We're going to stay north of the course line. 3,500 feet is going to come up real quick, so I'm going to go ahead and start bringing the power back 25. We're going to bring the prop back 24. We're going to level right here at 3,500 feet. Yeah, we'll take a heading of about 280. Should get us where we want to go. Those sounds on takeoff, though. Let me turn up the... I have my headset noise canceling on, but I'm going to turn it off. Let's go to 40. We're going westbound, right? So west is even. Let's go to 45. We're going to be north of that airspace. We're going to go to 45 here initially. Stay low. Below the clouds. All right, we're up in climb. Cruise climb. Mixture is max. Prop is 25. Throttles are full open. Well, I've got them pulled back a little bit. Cow flaps, air conditioning, and oxygen engine performance monitors. So we're looking good. We should have turned our transponder on. We would have needed that on because squawk altitude. Because we're actually within, I think, the Class C dome here from the airport to next door. Coming up to 4,500. It's only going to get colder, so let's get the Janitrol heater working. So I'm going to go ahead and put on the vent blower. And cabin heat is coming on. Cabin heat pool on. Little turbulence. Man, could you imagine having this airplane in career mode? Game time, I'm using the Brunner force feedback yoke, my friend. Brunner force feedback yoke. Alright, 4,500 feet. Get her nice and trimmed out. Do a magic barrel ref before we do a little autopilot engaging, since we're going to be level here. So we're going to go heading, altitude, autopilot engage, and we're going to start the chrono and we're going to flip the fuel tank. So we're actually okay. We're still burning on the right, so I'm going to have the chrono going for the fuel tank. Give us a reminder. I actually want you in the Vorloke nav. Could give it a little bit more juice here. I'm going to lean it back just a hair. Run prop up 25. It's smooth air. Get some speed out of it here. Beautiful late afternoon here, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Turn my noise canceling back on a little bit. You can see the I love the scrolling feature of the A&R. So headset off, headset on, and then you can adjust which level of noise reduction that you want to use. And the benefit of having the noise reduction versus like just turning your master volume down is it's going to, you could still hear other things in the airplane. That's great. You know, you're not just muting everything. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the weather radar on since it's free and I don't have to worry about real world radiation. Do we have a release date? We do. It is on the 28th. It is on the 28th, my friend. So we're going to fly a little bit further north. Let's bring out our navigraph. So yeah, these are the lakes right here. Ellerport. Man, we're on a perfect heading right here, which it coincides with this thing, but I don't really want to cheat with this thing. Let's put this on like standby mode. Look at it. What do I, oh, do you still like the Duke the most? Oh man, Av Apollo, that's such a good question. I love the Duke. I really truly do. You know, the Bonanza I think is going to be more popular though, because it's a more popular airplane in real world application. I also love, I mean, the Baron was a ton of fun too. We got to take the pressurized Baron out for a spin. Like there's just, they're both kings. They're both, we have, you know, they're all goats. They're all goats. They're just different. They're so different, you know? My favorite fuel tank trick is using the minute hand when it's on the right half of the clock, right tank. When it's on the left half of the clock, left tank. Heavy metal aviation. That's a great idea. Do we have an analog clock in here, though? I don't think I do. I guess you could look at your watch, right? But yeah, if you had a little analog clock, you could definitely do that. I'll close you up half there. We're going to stay on this particular heading until we get... We're going to look for Deer Park Airport. And it looks like there's... was this power lines? And the highway down here. We're looking for a highway a little further. Yeah, we just passed the mountains. Or, yeah, we just passed those ridges. Right here. So we're right here. So we're going to keep going. We're going to cross Buckeye, just the edge of Spokane Class C. Then we'll climb up a little bit higher. Maybe we'll go at 8.5 or so. Take advantage of some performance. Can actually bump it up a tad. As far as cruise, tip, lean or reach of peak, yeah, we're good. We're not going to lean that too much right now because, like I said, we're just cruising here at 4,500 feet. I've got it back just a hair. We should be just fine. I think I see everything that's coming up. What I might do for sim purposes is I might just turn those off. That way I can turn my master volume down just for you guys so we can toggle between inside and outside. Can you use the Garmin clock? What's the Garmin clock? I've never even heard of it. I don't like the Garmin watch? Or are you talking about the clock over here? Is there a Garmin clock on the 530? This time? Nah, I'm just used to doing this. But I like the clock trick, right hand, left hand. I've never heard of that, but I like it. All right, here comes our highway. Yeah, there's a yoke clock too, but that's why I use the yoke. So the way I did it, back in my day, I just used the ET. That's all I did. I just reset the ET. That's how I did it. Here's the highway that we saw on the chart. And we should be picking up a river soon, and essentially we might just follow the river in heading mode all the way to the dam. That could be fun. So we're going to keep our eyes open for a river up. I think I see it up there ahead of us. And we're just going to fly the river in heading mode. Should have flown north to Banff. We're going to go everywhere on this plane, man. I think we're going to take this all the way. We might just continue ferrying this the next couple days. Ferry it down to Half Moon Bay or something. I don't know which. My problem is I just don't know which one I like the best. I love them all, dude. You know what? We don't even need a GPS. Let's just try to find an old school way. Let's do this. Options, realism, immersion. Oh, that's gonna kill our autopilot though. Hold on. No, do that. Let me get back up to 4,500 feet. We're good. We're gonna just do it. We're going old school, man. We don't need no stinking Garmin in here. All right, 4,500 feet. We're armed. Altitude heading. Here comes the river. Garmin clock is on the utility page of the 5. Oh well, I just got rid of the 530. You know Garmin. Guess stop being a magenta liner. There's our river. Look at this thing. This is a thing of beauty, man. This is why you fly the Arrow, in my opinion, or Arrow. Geez. Bonanza. It does kind of look like an Arrow. We could probably close the cowl flaps up. Yeah, plenty good there. Cowl flaps closed. Our second leg will climb up higher and we'll take full advantage of the turbocharger. 89 degrees in here. It's getting warm. What GA plane would you fly around the world if you're going to? Heavy metal. I'm really tempted to do. So we're doing a Tour de Americas in the Duke, in the Piston Duke. I'm tempted to do a super long journey in the turbine Bonanza. What if, like, hold on, let's do a poll first. This is turbo normalized. Yes, Twiffos. So turbo normalized keeps you at 30 inches, right? So I could go max. We're not going to overboost, right? So it's smooth air. Let's stay. Let's see how fast we get. We're into the yellow arc now. We're doing 180 knots. I'm actually going to lean this out a little bit more if we're going to do this. Lean it out, lean it out. That's about peak right there. So I'm going to go rich at peak 50. Coming back in a little bit. Just keep her nice and lean. Let's see what kind of speed we can get because it's real smooth right now. World Tour suitable for, oh yeah, Starship would be, a World Tour Starship would probably be the way to go. I don't know, I have an idea. I'm trying to formalize or formulate a sentence here. So these release on the 28th, that's 5 days. I feel like we should commit to a 5-day journey in one of the variants. Like, where should we take it and which variant should we take? This one is pretty sweet, I'll be honest with you. The turbine is amazing for performance. But you're not gonna. I mean, you're also speed limited a little bit, especially down low. Like your yellow arc in the turbine for certification. We talked about this yesterday. In the turbine, your VNE is going to be indicating right about 170, 180. Whereas in this aircraft, we can run this into the yellow arc just fine like this, and we're cooking. But, man, the sounds on that turbine are just amazing. Take it over to Atlanta? We could. Should we ferry? Well, that would be a one flight, David. What's up, man? If we do like an Atlantic crossing. I'm thinking as we follow the river here. So here's our river. We're just going to follow the river. Yellowstone, Glacier, Grand Canyon. Good. Zach says, I've said it before and I'll say it again, just watching this plane really feels like home. Take this variant more realistic. I think you're right. I think you're right, Zach. But what about the non-turbo one? What about just the regular, naturally aspirated one? We haven't flown that either. And you can put tip tanks on it. Can we take it to Alpha 7 Zulu? This is the new Phoenix Neo, my man, yeah. But there's something about having that turbocharger. That sound is awesome too. A little extra juice. But we don't have boots on this one. You know, do we have boots on the other one? On the regular Bonanza? I have to look. I know we have boots on, or was that the Baron? Is there no boots on the Bonanza at all? Maybe I'm cross-referencing when we flew the Baron. This is just stunning right here. Yeah, I don't think the Bonanza has boots. I think I'm cross-referencing the Bonanza, or excuse me, the Baron, because we did the Baron. Backfiring, spark plug fouling, turbocharger basics. So this is interesting. I'm reading, oops, hold on, let me show you guys. So I pulled up the manual. And I'm reading about the turbocharger basics, and it says in this variant you don't need to lean to maintain power below critical altitude. This is not necessary. Because normally you do in Microsoft, but this says owners of a church are familiar with the inaccurate need to lean, make sure continuously to maintain proper fuel air while below critical altitude. This is not necessary with the turbocharger in this product. This simulation is also substantially more complex than other turbocharger simulations. Unlike car engines, which predominantly operate near sea level pressures, aircraft engine normally aspirated engine, the mixture control is used to maintain favorable fuel air ratio. That's what we talked about. Hold on, we're studying. Let's turn on our headset. We're studying here. I'm trying to see, but technically we're in cruise right now, though. Where's my river go? Oh, chat. Hold on. Where's the river go? We're gonna have to study on the next leg. Okay, so the river shoots off to the north. We just stay straight. This is that one offshoot here. Yeah, no lean for power on this one. Only lean for economy, and it's not much of anything. Okay. So that's kind of what I'm saying. So interesting. Well, the checklist does say at cruise altitude, though, lean for rich of peak or lean of peak. I guess that is for economy. It's not for power. Okay. Simply put, critical altitude is the engine at the maximum, right? Okay. When the aircraft continues to climb, manifold pressure begins to drop. And now we must lean the mixture. So that's... So he's got that simulated in this. Okay, so let me break this down real quick. I wasn't aware, because normally in Microsoft we have to always lean to get power, you just run out of juice. So I've just been in the habit of leaning everything. But think about it this way, right? So you wouldn't lean at sea level at 30 inches of manifold pressure, right? Unless you're at idle, right? You don't want to foul the plugs on the ground. But so at 30 inches, you've got a proper fuel-air mixture at full rich. Because we're turbo normalized, we can continue to stay full rich operation until we are at critical altitude, which then we would start falling below 30 inches of manifold pressure, which then we would start to need to lean because the fuel air mixture is going to be off if you continue to lose manifold and you keep more fuel in there. Now, we're not almost at V&E. We're doing, V&E is 210. We're at 200 or 180. We're at 180. So that's really cool. We could theoretically run at full rich, but what is that? What's that going to do with fuel flow? I guess not much, right? I mean, looking at the fuel flow number there, I can bring it back. Well, I mean, it does make a difference. We can save a little bit of gas. Oh, let's just save a little bit of gas. Let's run it right there, 22 gallons per hour instead of running, because you don't need it full bore. I mean, that's pretty dang cool. We're starting to get some bumps. We might have to slow it down here a little bit. Let's go ahead and bring the power off. All right. Because in every other turboprop in Microsoft, if you don't lean, or I should say turbocharger, rather, if you don't lean, you're drastically losing power as you climb below critical altitude, which is not correct. Interesting. That's very cool. Wizardry. It's wizardry. Another reason why these airplanes are amazing. We might have to take this one on a small little pre-release tour. HA, thanks for $3 super chat. So we're trusting V1 to both read and fly? No. Don't trust me to do that. We got the autopilot on. Saving free pixel gas, exactly. Hot shots in the house. What's going on, man? Boris Audio works in the Bonanza again, Chad. It's just absolutely amazing. Cabin temp is cold again. Gosh dang it. Digital Merc, you're so needy. So, look here at our cabin temp. We've got the heat exchanger, cabin heat. See as I pull this on, see how it warms up the... Oh, that's so cool. I mean, I'm fine at 50 degrees. It's not my fault you're wearing short sleeve gym shorts. Gotta have your leather jacket on, like Barry. See? I'm properly dressed. Got your foil blanket. The Bonanza is my favorite GA aircraft of all time, so I really tried to do it justice. I mean, dude, Boris, you know how much I love the frickin' Dukes, but my goodness, man. I am in love with this thing, and it's just outstanding job. The sound of the turbocharger out there again. It's awesome, man. This is why people ask. They always ask in the chat. Well, what are you doing? This or the Comanche? Everyone likes to compare to the Comanche because A2A had been king of the world for GA for a very long time, going back to the FS9, FSX days. They have made really good products, and they still make good products. But where it's always been, it has nothing competes with Boris sounds, and you add that little extra level, it makes the airplane feel alive. It really does, or it makes it feel like it's got life to it. It sounds exactly like the real one. I agree. There's that particular droning sound, especially even in the Baron, dude. The Baron nailed it. You nailed all of them. And yeah, Zach, I'm with you. I mean, the Comanche is still a great airplane. There's no shot again. I mean, this is like I feel like people get offended, comparing like the A2A Comanches, like comparing X-Plane and Microsoft. It's like, no, just fly whatever airplane you want to fly. But there's something about the Blacksquare products that give it that little extra juice. I don't know, Luke. The Aerostar sounds, I tested it this morning. The Aerostar sounds do not sound very good to me. They sound very hollow, and they sound the same from ground and cruise. Now, the airplane is looking very good. I'm going to turn the autopilot off. We're going to hand fly. I think the airport's going to be just passed up here, one of these little valleys. We'll drop down here a little bit, too. We'll come down to 3,500, 2,500. Let's get a little bit lower. But it's something is not right with the Aerostar sounds, in my opinion. Because I tried messing with it, but it does look good. But also just I don't know, I prefer the texturing of the panel of this too. There's just little things. I mean, it's a good air. I mean, we're really splitting hairs. They both do a lot of things really well, but this Bonanza's taking the cake for me. It's definitely all subjective, definitely. You'll be on controller looking for a Bonanza sale soon? I know. Well, I actually looked to see how much a turbine Bonanza would be, and between, what was it, like $400,000 and $900,000 for a turbine conversion, which I don't know if I'd even want the turbine conversion, but I could see the desire. I could see the desire. It's our altitude alert. I think we got, if we look at the map, I'm looking at Sky Vector. We've got another offshoot to the north, and then, as far as the river is concerned, we'll have a small river coming in. So I think this is the offshoot here, and then there's going to be a small river that comes in further down here, and that's where the airport's going to be. So we'll come down to, we'll just maintain 3,000, kind of stay right on the ridge line here. The turbine one is thirsty, and I like that though, in SimWorld, you know. It's fun having an airplane. I think it's fun flying super inefficient airplanes in the sim world because you really got to pay attention to your gas, you know. It just gives you that extra thing to think about if you do a couple go-arounds, you know. We almost flamed out the Twin Duke, the Turbine Duke, on our members-only stream because it was so thirsty. We decided to stay low, and man, we got down. We landed with, I think, 9 or 8 gallons. The turbine Bonanza has no legs, about 3x the fuel consumption with same size tanks. Yeah. So, I mean, that's why you can see not very practical. That's also why they're super rare, right? I think there's not a whole lot of them. They're pretty rare. All right, let's keep trickling down to 25 here, nice and easy. Set the new altitude alert. You can see, I think we're getting to the lake part now. Golly. Might have to go real time after this. We'll do the next flight in real time because we're going to fly up towards Mount Rainier. And I want to see that in full brightness. All right, it's 86 degrees. Are you nice and warm, Digital Mark? I'm getting hot in there. It's a little bit loud. Let's turn that heat off a tad. All right, one more turn here. So I think the airport's going to be up here now. Oh, look at them. Rock formations. Pretty cool. All right, 2,500 feet. According to AOPA website, Turbine Bonanza has a 900 nautical mile range, about the same as the Pistons. Faster climb, higher cruise speeds make up for the increased fuel burn. Well, that's where. So the only way that Turbine Bonanza is going to be any sort of benefit is your climb performance, right? We took off out of a 5,000 foot strip at max weight, did 3,000 feet a minute. It was amazing. So you get great performance, especially in climb. But yes, getting up to high altitude and then letting take advantage of the winds at higher altitude for sure. And you're going to have less fuel burn, 25. I mean, we shot right up to 25,000 feet at gross weight. But now, the problem with being at 25,000 feet, if you're non-pressurized, you guess what you're limited to? Your oxygen tank, right? Your cannulas. So, you got that going for you. Just a couple different things to think about. It is fun, though. All right, so this is the lake portion. And then we're going to go over, I think, the actual dam, and then Electric City is going to be there. So if we pull up Sky Vector. So, yeah, we're right here. And then there's this little river that comes in, and we're actually crossing the dam. So we cross the dam, the airport's going to be right there. See that stutter every time I open Navigraph charts? It's the only reason I don't like opening it on screen. Oh, I can see the dam over there. Alright, let's go ahead and... Oh, we left the taxi landing light on the whole time. I wish Nick would make a King Air. Oh my gosh, me too. He did the analog King Air, which was a lot of fun, but a standalone like C90 or something. But no, here's what my pipe dream Blacksquare aircraft. I don't know if it's a little bit too large of an airplane, because he seemed like, I think the biggest airplane Blacksquare has done is the Starship, but a Beech 99 or C90. Those are my two pipe dream airplanes: C90 or a Beech 99. Nah, not a 1900. I don't want a 1900. That's getting close to prop liner. Well, it is a prop liner, but a 99 is like, it's not pressurized. You got 3-bladed PT6, which I think look really cool on that particular airframe. And you can fly it freight, you can fly it passenger. I don't know. A C90 would be really cool too. But I can't wait for the Caravan, because the Caravan is also in the pipeline. Nah, King Air 350i, too advanced. Nobody wants any more advanced. We want old school. Look at those rocks. That looks great. L410, yeah. I think the Caravan, right? The Caravan was announced from Blacksquare a while back. A standalone Caravan, because he did the remember he did the Caravan panel mod, which I got, flew that thing around. That was so much fun. A Ford tri-motor. Luke, you don't think you get the stutter in the Simulate 4? Now that would be nice. Iceman, yeah, the Bonanza turboprop, we flew that yesterday. We're not going to fly that one today. Ooh, a little bit of turbulence there. We're not going to fly the turbine today. Oh, look at this. There's the dam. Wow. So airport should be right over here. That is cool. Electric City. Yeah, Caravan Pro is announced. Yes. So this is Electric City, Utah, Idaho. Oh, there's power lines right there. I want to get much lower. All right, let's start slowing down. Let's not descend into those power lines. Magic Barrel ref update. I can see the panel. We can do a straight-in approach here. Listen to that turbo spooling now. Oh, so great. Listen to that whistling. Yeah, this is the one, guys. I think this is the one. Should we do a low pass to see what the windsock's doing? There's definitely some wind. Let's do a low pass. High-speed low pass. Then we'll break off into a pattern. Keep the prop at 25 for now. The power lines were on the chart. Yeah, I know. wish I had my recorder up. We could record this. So runway 22. Yeah, we'll land on 22. Just a little bit of a crosswind, really. All right. I'm gonna spin my CDI over to 22 for a reference. .120 knots. And not a whole lot of wiggle room here in this pattern. This is 3 Whiskey 7, Electric City, Turks. 3 Whiskey 7. Alright, there's our downwind right on the radar. Bring that power back just a little bit more. Alright, let's see. No fuel. Oh, fuel tank. Yep, we got to switch you over. Fuel pump's coming on. We're going to go to a higher tank. That's coming off. We'll kill the vent blower for now. Cabin heaters can come off. We're below 154, whatever. Gear's coming down. How's our temps? Temps are fine. No need for cow flaps. Wide arc, we'll go flaps approach. Slowing down through 100 knots here. We'll go full flaps, props forward, mixtures forward. Gear is down. 90 knots, a little bit high. We'll do a full stop. I was gonna do a touch on it. We'll do a full stop. We'll reassess our flight plan and time. Oh, butter. Bread has been buttered. Make sure to come back. Like a glove. Professional bow pilot. Should we get gas? Park at the fuel station? Clean it up. Can we fit between these two buildings? I hope so. Remember in FSX when you parked at the fuel box, it would open up the refueling panel? Hit the like button if you remember that. Nice little custom scenery airport, I think. This is all default. All right. Brakes are set. Avionics, that's coming off. Standby is coming off. 1,000 RPM. Kill it. Alternator, battery, magnetos. Let's get some gas. Let's chalk it. We'll open up this. We'll get ready for our next leg. I'm curious. We taxied by it. I didn't know what the modeling was like. I've never actually walked up to one of these. What's that say? Turn engine off before fueling? Don't tell the guy in Pampa in the jet tractor. He used to hot fuel all the time. Alright, so what we should do is... Let me pull out our Volanta landing rate first. See how we did. A 66 feet per minute. Absolutely beautiful. I'm going to start a new flight. And we're going to go to destination is 55 Sierra. Packwood Airport. Alright, we'll track you. It's about 10 miles longer. This one we are going to nav with GPS. So let's come over here to our flight plan. And I thought there was a quick way to swap these. No. Unload. New flight. Unable to read card. Alright. Filter 3 Whiskey 7. Add it to route. Electric City. Destination. I think it's technically closed, real world, because there's X's on the runway, but we're going to land there anyway. 55 Sierra. Alright. Now, as terms of airspace considerations, we might be able to fly this old school nav. If we take off, fly down the river, and go direct to, what's this one here? What's this? Echo Alpha Tango VOR. Can I add you to route? Yep. Add to route. And then from there, there's Mount Rainier off the left. We're going to go to this VOR here. Yakima. Add to route. After. Add. And then that's a hard right turn. So, now that may not be a good route. Let's delete that one. Where's my route? I want to go to this VOR and then go direct. That's what VOR is that? Ellensburg. Add to route before YKM, and then we're going to delete YKM. How do I remove it? I don't know how to delete YKM from the route. Oh, up here. Remove. Because now we can just take the, let's see, 2122 220 225. So if we take the 223 radial off of Echo Lima November, that'll put us on a proper heading for 55 Sierra. So let's try to do this without it. And let's get going. So down the river, first nav aid is 1435. 1435 and 17.9. Okay, so come back in here. Let's get our payload set. And let's go real-time weather. Live, live, live. All right. Everything is live time, live. Well, live weather was always on, but we need to get a little bit of gas. Not too much, though. Let's go 2020, 1010. That's a little bit too much. How about 1515? 2.6 hours. I guess we didn't need much gas. We're looking good. There's plenty of fuel, right? Yeah, that's plenty of fuel. All right. No extra passengers on board, but we had some desserts. Nah, we don't want to add any weight because we're going in a really small strip. Let's leave it as is. Just a small pit stop, and we'll get out of here. All right. Quick turn. All right, everything's ready to go. Yep, that's good. Let's go. Battery. Beacon nav is on automatically. We'll turn the panel lights off for start. We probably shouldn't even have to prime it. We'll crack the throttles a little bit more. Let's close this door. And we got to pull the chocks. Did we already pull chocks? Yep, we already pulled chocks. Clear prop. Let's see if we can get a nice hot start going here. Nope. Okay. Fine by me. 1001. Oh, could it be vapor locked? Crack you. Here we go. Oh, I think we're vapor locked. I think we're vapor locked, chat. Yep. We are vapor locked. Okay. Vapor lock checklist. No, I don't think she's flooded. She's locked because the engine's so hot. There we go. Hold on. Hot engine starting in a Bonanza. If I can find it. Vapor lock, so when you shut the engine down, the residual heat from the cylinders will vaporize or atomize the fuel that's in the fuel lines near the engine cylinders. And you can't get more fuel through there. So hot start, mixture cutoff, propeller high RPM, aux fuel pump high for 10 to 20 seconds, then off. So aux fuel pump high for 20 seconds. And that says mixture prop high cutoff, throttle full open for start. All right, 20 seconds. Oops. All right, and then it also says aux fuel pump off, mixture full rich, throttle full open, aux fuel pump high for 2 to 3 seconds. 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. Okay. Fuel flow greater than 3 gallons per hour. I didn't check. Aux fuel pump off, throttle 1/2, starter engage. All right. Hopefully we get her going. Come on, baby. Chat. We're cooked. We're so close. Let's get the fuel flow 3 gallons per hour minimum, which we have. There we go. That should be enough. Maybe we just needed a little bit more. Come on. Oh. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Yes. Yes. Oh, no. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. There we go. Let's get the battery. Let's get the alternator charging that battery. Yeah, buddy. All right. This avionics is coming on. What did we say frequencies? I totally forgot now. First one we're looking for is 1435. 1435. Second one is going to be Ellensburg, 17.9. All right, that's all set up, ready to rock and roll. After Ellensburg, we said it's going to be roughly 223 radials, so I'm going to set my OBS 2 as a reminder to be 223 so I don't have to look it up. Only 100 likes? I know, right? What's going on with that? Come on, you guys know you guys like this content more than that. Come on. Prop stuff, hot starts, stuck at a little airport here at Electric City. All right, 223 outbound for the second one, just as a reference. We don't need this chart anymore. We'll get rid of you. We'll throw the panel lights back on. We'll throw the taxi light back on. All instruments are indicating in the green. Trim is also in the green at 0. Do we need flaps for takeoff? I don't think we'll need flaps for takeoff. I think we got plenty of runway. All right, let's go ahead and taxi the runway. Get out of here. Lifetime live weather now. Brakes released. Let's go. Do a little bit of a back taxi up here. What's that button? Oh, OBS leg mode. Oh, for the KX. I got you. You don't get that in a tube liner. Loving the GA. Thank you, Hamish. That's what I'm saying, man. You don't get this kind of stuff in tube liner flying. All right, we're going to try to take this one up a little bit higher, though. So Magic Barrel Ref, let's go up to... we test our oxygen cannulas. We're technically going westbound, so let's see if we can get up to 16.5. We'll just see if we can get there. We'll see. We'll set 16.5 for now. That'll give us better reception for the VOR as well. Fuel tank is on the left, which is about dead equal, so that's fine. I'll reset the chrono. I'll start you. Just a radio hot swap? I did a radio hot swap, Joe Plains. I didn't want the Garmin. I feel we did Garmin in yesterday. Let's go no Garmin today. We're going to try to find this little airport in the hills just south of Rainier without a Garmin. Highly not recommended. Unless we get into IMC, then of course we will we'll do that. I'm running trim 0 or down 1.5, I think. How hard can it be? See hill, avoid hill. Yeah, that's right. Until we don't see hill. All right, landing light, strobe light, windows closed. Nope, headset doesn't need to come on. All right, runway heading 220. Mixture's coming up. Let's go flying. John G, thanks for the $5 super chat. Says I'm feeling cute. Might donate if we get power off 180. Just saying. I don't know, man. Power off 180. I don't know. The invisible turn. You should try to download the KLN 90. I know. I actually. I think I have it installed. I don't remember how to use it. Let me see real quick. Hot swap to KLN 90. I remember I downloaded it for the Duke. I think I have it. I have it. I just don't remember how to use it, man. I don't want to fiddle with it on this flight. But yeah, I've got it installed. We'll leave it for nostalgia looking. We'll just, you know. Cool, we'll approve all that. Cool, acknowledge that. Cool. Maybe I can figure it out in flight. All right, here we go. Sounds are coming up. Hold the brakes. Nice and easy, get that turbo spooled. Here we go. A little bit of left crosswind. Positive right, gear up. Follow the river. Alright, coming up on through 1,000 feet. Lower the nose a little bit. Listen to those sounds. $120. That looks good. Props coming back 25. Get the vent blower on, we'll crack the heat. Now here's the thing, if we're VFR we can't bust through this cloud layer, so we may not be able, do we bust through it illegally to see if we get up to 16.5, or do we try to stay legal here? What do you guys want to do? Why do I have a red flag in my DC electric? Is that normal? The FA, what the FA doesn't know won't hurt them. All right, let's keep climbing then. We'll point it towards the river. I'd be going crazy if I say I need a little roll trim here. Nope, that way. You know what's weird? Is that animation go the right way? So that's trimming it right. I feel like that is backwards. Cow flap open. We're going to keep climbing here at 120 knots. Pop up IFR to VFR on top. Alright, we're still waiting for... We may not get 1435 for a while. If we follow the river. This is in kind of a mountain here. It's going to be line of sight, so I'm going to follow... Well, it almost looks like... Look at this. It looks like there's a sucker hole up there. Maybe we should level off right below it. This is not for flight into known icing. Not authorized for flight into known icing. Let's turn our headphones on. But we'll turn up the sound a tad. So power is full, mixture is full, props at 2,500. Come back just a hair. Yeah, you could see where the cloud... I mean, there's holes out there. We're just in a little overcast layer. Wow, look behind us. Stunning. Stay under the cloud. I'm going to stay under them. We'll level at 8.5. How about that? We're coming up on it quick. Let's level at 8.5. And then when I find a hole, we'll try to zoom it up there. Level it at 8.5. Run the trim down. I mean, I just love that part of force feedback, man. You really... Force feedback just changes the game for the GA flying. Because you got to be able to feel if your airplane's in trim or not, you know? Makes it so much more intuitive. See, look at that. I mean, we're hands off. We're dead even. But see, I need a little more roll trim there. Oh, wrong way. 2 that way, maybe. Alright. We'll stay on course. We'll get the autopilot engaged. Heading is set. I'll go heading, altitude, autopilot engage. Oh, you know what? Where is the roll trim indicator? Is it neutral? Where can I see it? Yeah, it's neutral now. I think I think my hat switch is roll trim left right. I have to check that. Alright. Let's come back. Cruise 24. Landing like taxi light off. It's 66 degrees in here. It's fine by me. And we're gonna just keep trucking. We have number 2. How are we getting 17.9 but not? We're getting 7. Oh, because of the mountains, perhaps. All right. Well, let's skip 1435 because this will actually be better because we'll avoid these high peaks here. We'll come down this way. So let's track 17.9 for Ellensburg. So we'll center this needle up and then we'll nav it on the autopilot. FD nav out. And we've got a message flashing at us here. Okay, yeah. Okay, cool. System time update. Cool. I don't remember how to do any of this. Present position. There we go. I'm going to have to remember how to use that thing. Another bouncy landing? No bounces. We greased the first one, man. We greased it. Absolute greaser. I think, is that Rainier up there? Oh, close the cowl flaps. Alright. Cruising. How's our fuel? Time to switch tanks. 938, not quite. 15 gallon in balance maximum, right? So we're actually getting to it right now, so this would be a time to swap it, I think. So fuel pump on, switch tanks, fuel pump off, fuel flow pressure is holding, and we'll reset the chrono. There we go. Start you again. All right. Man, we are cloud surfing, or the opposite of surfing. We're cloud scudding. How old of a GPS is that thing? The KLN 90, man, that's old school, man. We had them in our birds when I was flight training, and it's not that. I just don't remember like the. Let me see if I can figure it out. I don't. If you go to so direct. Oh, I don't have it. I don't have it updated. I don't have it fully updated. I'll refresh my memory on it and then I'll refresh my memory on it and then we will we'll do a flight with it. All right, so if we are cruising at 8.5 for economy, let's go ahead and pre-lean. Alright, and then we're going to hit lean find, rich of peak, so start bringing it back. There it is, it's already starting to flash. Leanest, number 4. Now, I read something where you can use the throttle friction knob for super fine adjustments. I think. Daniel Day, what's up, man? $50, that's close enough. All right, cruising for economy. Oh, we're right below It'll be interesting to see if we pick up any ice any ice. Right now, the outside air temp is, we're right in the danger zone, right at 10C outside, but it's a cozy 70 degrees. Can the heater be off for takeoff in the Duke? Heater can be on, air conditioning needs to be off. Heater can be on, AC off in the Duke. You're talking either one of them, actually. How common is it for GA pilots to carry handheld GPS to cross-check where they are? Not very common when I was flying, but I don't know what that means. And now, well, so I remember when I was time building, 152, my buddy, he took a handheld driving Garmin device. Like, you remember the ones that you'd rent from like a rental car facility and you'd stick them in your window and they'd cost you a bunch of money so you could have GPS when you rented a car somewhere new. So he took one on our flight and we thought, oh dude, this is a great idea. And then he put in where we were going, but it calculated roads, obviously, right? Because it's not an airplane GPS. So every 10 seconds, recalculating, and we just ended up shutting the thing off. Right? This is so stupid. Just fly the airplane. Because we were doing time building, and then it was a night return, and we were in Winslow. We had to abort our way back because we were flying back to Deer Valley and we were over Winslow, Arizona, and we started to fly into inadvertent icing. So we immediately, pulled the plug, dropped down, and we couldn't climb higher because we'd go into the icing, and we couldn't fly low because of the terrain. So we landed in Winslow, and then we remembered that he wasn't current for night landings. So I then got out, let him do 3 landings at night so he could be legal and be legally night qualified. And then we ended up just waiting for the weather to pass, and I think we were kind of just sleeping there in the airplane for a couple hours. And we eventually left, I think, around, 1 or 2 in the morning. The clouds had moved through, and we were able to take off and fly all the way back. But that's the good old days, man. I remember doing BFRs with a guy that had a 750 in the panel and a giant iPad clipped to the yoke with GPS position. The guy kept a busy cockpit. Turks, have you heard of that ATC of the guy who's flying and his iPad dies? And he's like, I'm declaring an emergency. I can't fly. I can't fly with my yoke is dead. It's crazy. What app do you see your flight path? That is Volanta, Daniel Day. So you're over on the vertical stream. That is Volanta. It's a pretty nifty app, and I actually really like it for GA flying too, when you can look at our pattern work. But all right, I need some water. Chat, we did this without a second coffee today. Well, if he didn't bring paper charts... Oh, I see what you're saying. So you're saying he declared emergency because he doesn't have the charts to fly? But I would think that if you're if you know your EFB is going to die, unless it died, failed, it just shut off. If you have low battery, wouldn't you, tune in your frequencies and make sure you're just still flying? Not sure. Basically, Navigraph is like ForeFlight. Yeah, it's 100%, Luke Wallace. ForeFlight is very similar to Navigraph. Very, very similar. I remember there was a plugin for FSX where you could set your ForeFlight to mimic your FSX flying. Did anybody ever do that? I used to fly the Coronado Chieftain. No. The Milviz 310. I used to, because I was getting ready to go fly freight. I got hired by my freight operator, and I was going to go fly freight, but I hadn't started yet. So I would fly all the routes with ForeFlight on my iPad, my real-world iPad, and I would link my Milviz 310 through FSX to ForeFlight. You can do that with 2024? That's pretty cool. Yeah, Bridge app. I didn't know that. I don't even have ForeFlight anymore. So up until last year, we had ForeFlight as a backup navigation source for my airline operator, because we use Jeppesen, JetPro, and our backup was ForeFlight. Now they've since removed ForeFlight. I guess we don't need a backup. So there's that. And it's very expensive. So like, I mean, I had ForeFlight the first time from my citation gig. We expensed it. So I was able to use ForeFlight for that. And then when I got to my airline operator, we had ForeFlight. Yeah, Turks, we had it up until, oh shoot, maybe less than a year ago. It was great. It was really cool because there's a lot of stuff, especially if you like to nerd out and, you know, do the scenic things like what are you looking at out the window, etc. It was great. It actually had better radar too. Had better en route reports and stuff. So a lot of guys used it almost right alongside their JEP. The charts are definitely better in JEP FD Pro. It's just more intuitive. But for the en route stuff, ForeFlight was great. All right, so we're 33 miles, 10 minutes out. I'm curious if I can get 1435, just out of curiosity, if we can pick it up. Yeah, there it is. We're picking it up now on number 2. So it's actually going to be right up over in this valley here. Google Maps allegedly works off of our flight deck Wi-Fi. Allegedly. Oh, really? Allegedly. Allegedly. How long do you think you're O2 limited with 4 POB, 4 persons on the Bonanza? Ooh, Coyote, that's a great question. I actually don't know. So we flew the turbine and used the portable oxygen yesterday, and it lasted, how long did it last? Maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes? Let me pull out the manual here. Let's see if there's anything listed in the manual for that. It's going to depend on how, yeah, and yeah, it depends on a couple different things. We were at 25,000 feet. Alarms. Let me search oxygen. All right, oxygen pressure gauge. Crew passenger oxygen depletes according to pressure. Look at this. Look at this. This is epicness. Crew passenger oxygen depletes according to pressure altitude, which, okay, that's good. I would sort of expect that to be simulated. Also depends on passenger occupancy. Come on now. Little things like this, man. Little things like this. All right, so let's see. What's the next one? Oxygen pressure gauge. On the nav page, refill the oxygen cylinder. You can refill it. And here's the thing. You can refill it if you want to, like, cheat refill it in flight. You can do it. On the co-pilot subpanel, the gauge indicates the oxygen pressure available to the onboard refillable oxygen cylinder. The cylinder normally pressurized between 18 to 2150 psi. When serviced on the ground, oxygen pressure will deplete as it's consumed by passengers and crew when activated. To activate the built-in demand type oxygen regulators for all occupants, place the oxygen supply switch to the on position. Oxygen will be consumed by the occupants only in accordance with the current pressure altitude of the aircraft and the weights of the crew members. So Turk and Wingnut, they sucked all our oxygen out. That's why we only had, 40 minutes of oxygen yesterday. We're at 25,000 feet. We had 4 people on board, and we had Turk coming in at 280 and Evan at 260. So that's why our oxygen got sucked down so fast. Oxygen pressure is saved between flights, can be refilled via the systems page on the weather radar or the payload page on the tablet interface. When the cabin oxygen system is activated, the sound, pressure, gas flows through the pipes will be audible. Yes, we heard that. That is so cool. I mean, engine health, oxygen pressure is saved between flights, can be reset via the tablet. Cabin temp monitoring, exterior, wait, what? Oh, so that's out, huh? Oxygen cylinder, indicated by the green volume in the cylinder that's on the EFB. Pulse ox. Cool. So, yeah, I mean, simulation. Simulation, baby. So, we don't need it, but you can hear it. I hear it. Shh. So we had 4 people, 4 heavy passengers at 25,000 feet yesterday. Pretty wild. All right, we're 10 minutes or 11 minutes from there. How's our fuel? We're looking good. We're only 13 minutes in. 10 miles from our VOR. Outbound, we said we were going to do 223 outbound. So if I'll just stay as is for right now. Gosh, I love this airplane, man. This airplane, guys, hit the like button. Everybody, if you haven't already, hit the like button, please. We're gonna do. All right, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna fly this variant. We need I'm gonna start a poll. Pre-release Blacksquare content is the theme of the poll, and then you're gonna vote on one of the options. So we can either do a long haul. We can do where could we fly? A cross-country flight? That's kind of boring. We don't want to do north to south because we've already done that. What are some options? We could do like a cross-country in the next 5 days. Do 1 leg a day in the evening. There's something I want to do for pre-release hype for this airplane, but I just don't know what it is yet. Like, I can't put my finger on it. Mexico to Cancun. Wait, what? I do want to ask, though. Let me ask this. Let me pull you guys on this. Which aircraft are you most interested in? It's going to be Bonanza Turbine GT6. How many options can I do? Bonanza TC, which is this one. I can do 4 options. Okay, alright, TC / not. Or Barons. What's the code for the non-TC? Just the regular? I'm just going to put not. SoCal to the Pacific Northwest. Along the coast. I mean, we just kind of flew Route 1. That's the thing. We just kind of flew the PCH and the Duke. That's the only reason I don't really want to do that. Wichita is super mid, dude. You want to fly? I know the plant, but dude, Wichita is like, you talk about boring. I mean, Wichita makes boring look exciting. Maybe the most, I mean, I could just see the comments now. Well, the X-plane looks better than this. I-90 corridor from Boston to Washington, State. Ooh. hold up. Let me see. I think I know where that is. I-90 corridor. Let me just look up a map real quick. You know what? Right along the northern... We might have to do that, but we just flew the wrong direction. We literally just started. We just started in where were we? Idaho? No. Yeah, in Idaho, and we went west. I guess we could start in Portland, because we gotta go west to east to take advantage of the winds. And I think I saw somebody comment, I think this is good. Don't take something with boots because navigating ice levels would be interesting, and I agree. Did we pass? Yeah, so 223 is what we need now, roughly. All right, we're going to have to pay attention here. So 223-ish. Look for this tiny airport. We're going to have to drop down, too. Oh, there, we're out of the sucker hole. 223-ish radial. So now we got to do some pilotage. We went over the VOR. Oh, no, not yet. We're... Shoot, I thought we were over it. We're in the cone of confusion. We just flew through the cone of confusion with the autopilot on. There's the airfield. So that's got to be... It's got to be a glider port or something? Or no, right here. Kashmir? Maybe that's Kashmir. Is there a highway right there? River is right here, so we're crossing the river. There should be an observatory. We might have to descend to see some of this. 837. No, we're not going to stay high though. We're going way up. We're going to be plenty low. So to find this little airport, it's in High Valley. If we see a lake, we got to split. We got to stay north of this lake. That's Wentahatchee. We're in, yeah. We got the Pacific Northwest expert with it. Digital Mercs on board. End in Bar Harbor, Maine. That sounds exciting. Okay, I-90 corridor. I'm going to plan that tonight. And I'm going to see how many flights we're going to... Because I don't want to just sit here and do full endurance, 4-hour long haul. I want to try to break it up. I want to see how many flights we could do. But this may be all we stream for the next 4 days. We'll see. Because I think that would be really fun. And if we're on that I-90 corridor, it's going to be colder up there. All right. Here's the thing. I might have to VPN a Iveo Premium for that. Get us going. I don't know. All right. What's Bar Harbor's ICAO? Oh, I got to get back on nav mode here. Where are you going, Chief? Come back over here. DHB. So if I look at Sky Vector, and we're gonna go that's far, guys. Oh my goodness, 2,200 miles. Do we leave from Portland or do we leave from, like, what's up here? What's this cool little place? Where do we start? Can we start from... How do we split that up? Where's my phone? Rainier's on our right. Oh yeah, look, there it is. So let's just round up. Say it's 2,300 miles. If we divide that by 4 days, that's 575 miles a day. And if we average, you think we can get a 200 knot ground speed average if we take it up to altitude? What is, I thought there was a way to find a ground speed on this without. La 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 la. I'm gonna have to 188 knots. What's right in front of my face, guys? 188. I gotta come back and re-engage nav mode. 188 right now. So yeah, I think we can average 200 knots. Right? So if we average a 200 knot ground speed, that's a 2-hour stream each day in this. I think we could do that. We could watch movies. What about start at SZT? Let me look. SZT. If we could shave off like a little bit. What about Kalispell? That's a little bit closer in. I gotta re-engage nav mode here. I don't want to miss it this time. I gotta close this. We're gonna pay attention to what we're doing here, but we're gonna keep that in mind because I like it. That's what we're gonna do. I-90 corridor eastbound. Now, do we alternate? Let me see this poll here. Okay, so we know what we're gonna do. Wow, buying the bundle. I love them all. Okay, so with that said, one last poll. Everyone needs to vote. What airplane / airplane combo for I-90 journey? Either A36TC, which is what we're in right now, A36TC and B58, or just a B58, or just the A36 turbine. All right. We got to pay attention here. We got to go into nav mode. Look at this, is getting insane scenery here. All right. Vote and then look at all the juice out here. Wow. What mountain is that? Is that Rainier? We're looking straight at it, right? Is that Rainier? Yellowstone. What's Yellowstone, IKO? Why? No. What's Yellowstone? What's Yellowstone? YES? Yes, WY? Yellowstone. I can't think of it. Yellowstone. Would be Bozeman? Or Whiskey Yankee Sierra is the small one. Whiskey Yankee Sierra. Yep. We're going to start in Yellowstone. Done. That's 1,800 miles. That shaves 200 miles off of it. That saves us an hour, 2 hours. Okay, Yellowstone is where we're going to start. So what did you guys vote for? Glacier Park? I think, yeah, well, I'll get the scenery for it. So what are we voting for? So right now we have A36 and the Baron combo. Really? I'm surprised you want to say. Okay, so what do we do then? Just 50-50? We'll do 900 miles in the single and 900 miles in the twin. I'll follow along at the 777. Could do Jackson Hole. Yeah, I thought about Jackson Hole too. Look at this scenery. It's not going to be as good as this though. Look at this, guys. Look at this. This is beautiful out here. My word. Alright, it's either going to be Jackson Hole or Yellowstone. I'll look. And we're going to Bar Harbor. It appears we're doing the combo. What do we start? Do we start in the Barren or do we start in the... So now that's so many questions, guys. Alright, so that poll is pretty much decided majority. So I'm going to end that poll. Last poll, last poll, last poll. Okay. I-90 journeys. Do we start in B-58 or start in the A36? Last poll. Start in the Bonanza with 50x failures and switch on the Baron. I tell you what. You know what, Twistfops? You have an idea. Yeah, we'll fly the pressurized, Jordan, because we didn't fly that one yet. How many miles are we away from? We got to find our airport here, though, Chat. We got to pay attention. We should be coming up on it. There should be. Anybody see any lakes? I think there's a lake over there. That's got to be the lake over there. Let's take a quick detour. Heading mode. I want to just see that's the lake. Come left. So remember we said, yeah, if we hit this lake, basically you follow that down. I'm pretty sure that's it because we've got to be right here in the middle. Yeah, that's definitely the lake over there. I see it. I see it. Look, we'll do drone view. Yep. There's water over there. So we're bang on. We are bang on. So let's come back to the right a little bit. Actually, if it kind of puts us in the saddle over here. I think our airport's going to be right over there. Golly, I love this airplane. I love this. I need this break, you know. I need this break from tube liners. Wow, the pole is almost dead split. I might have to make a public poll since you guys can't make up your minds. Okay, so following along. So there's going to be a big opening, and that's pretty much where the airport's going to be. Almost directly south of Rainier. So yeah, it's in this valley. It's got to be in that valley. St. Helens is just off the nose to the left. Oh, look. Well, there's 3 of them. What's that one and that one? Let me pull out my maps. So, Rainier, Mount Adams, and St. Helens. So St. Helens that's the volcano right there, right? Or are they all volcanoes? This is incredible scenery. Screenshot. They're all volcanoes? I guess so. Mount St. Helens is a bad one, though, right? Matthew F. He just needed this break because he'll be up to his ears in NG manuals soon. This is not ortho AFO. This is default, dude. This is all 110% default scenery, my man. X-plane could never. Yep, there's the lake. to me, this is worth it. Look at this. Look at it. Beautiful. You were 1 year old when St. Helens popped? Wow. I think Turk was 16. Look at that. Vodka. It's like, no, that was me. I have built a new PC. Can't wait to install 24. Fly around more than FPS. Oh, yeah, AFO. Dude, I mean, this is all... Everything that you've seen the stream is default other than the airplane. No sound packs, no shaders, no mods, no ortho, no cloud things. Just straight up default simulator. Alright, I'm going to come back a little bit to the left. I think our airstrip is going to be over here. So, if we look, yep, we're going to fly down this big valley, and before it gets skinny, high valley, before it gets skinny, we should see an airport down there. Alright. Let's go ahead and hand fly. Autopilot's coming off. Ooh, out of trim. Alright, autopilot's coming off. Flight director's coming off. Headsets are coming off. Start bringing back that power a little bit. So do you stage cool a turbo normalized Bonanza? Chat, our fuel pump, fuel tank. Okay. If I had $1 for every time I flamed out an engine because I forgot to switch to fuel tanks, I'd have $2 now. My goodness. We just flamed out. No wonder I needed aileron trim a little bit there. We forgot to switch the tank pumps. That's why you don't hide the yoke. Yeah, look at 35 minutes. My goodness. Number one cause of engine failures, indeed. All right. My word. Oh, I love that. I freaking love it. All right, keep an eye open for an airport down there. Oh, I think it might be right there. Oh yeah, we're high. Can you chop and drop the turbo normalized Bonanza? So the left wing is definitely heavier. Yeah, we're gonna have to spiral down here. It ain't got no gas in it. Too busy looking at the terrains. Alright, we're right over the top of where we need to be. Right there. We'll do a little pattern-ish entry thing here. Cow flaps are closed. We'll get our taxi landing lights are coming on. 74 degrees in here is beautiful. Fly out to the left. We'll come back around. Where'd she go? There she is, right down there. Douglas Phillips, what's going on, my man? We are descending into a little bush strip just south of Mount Rainier. Go back to 15. There's a really poor job on the stage cooling, I think, on this. Engine condition 99%. Chat, that's not good. Why are we at 99%? I thought we did pretty good. Other than the flame out. Alright, let's fly around this little peak here, and then we'll S-turn it in. High Valley. Still so fast. All right, sling the gear. We're gonna come in. It should have been winds calm down there. Real tight maneuver. We're going to come to the right and then be on the left base. Real close in here. Magic Barrel ref update. Doesn't really matter. We're just kind of straight up seat of the pants flying right now. Prop is up. Mixture's up. Flaps approach. Approach end looked better from the other direction, but we'll make this work. Get some more drag in there. Full flaps coming in. We'll slow her down nice and easy here. 100 knots. Gonna chop and drop it over the trees here. Knots. Looking good. Lock it in. Short field landing. Clearing a 50-foot obstacle. Which one's the runway? There's like 2 runways. Oh. Get the flaps up, help us slow down here. Oh my gosh, don't go to wing view when there are too many wing views. I went to wing view there to see the flaps went into the dirt. Yeah, it's a closed runway, we know that, but it's Microsoft Flight Sim, Turk. Give me a break. Now, there was a pretty cool house I saw over there at the end of this runway. Let's go check it out. The wing view got me. Wing view got me. All right, 1,000 RPM. Let's taxi back. Vent blower is coming off. We didn't use the heat. Oh, we did use. We don't have a Janitrol heater though, so we're good. Kill the avionics. Kill the lights. Accept the beacon and nav. Pretend we're Piper Arrows. Taxi with the door open. It's a Roman numeral, not closed. Exactly. We should try to get this thing into Bear Valley. Look at our touchdown marks. Pretty good. That would have been a fun one to have recorded. Look at these trees. I guess we'll just take it off and park it here. Is that a plane crash? That almost looks like a crashed airplane in the ortho imagery there. I wonder if there's any bears out here. Oh, is that a helicopter? Like a lifting crane? Like a one of those logging helicopters? Oh, it is a CH-47. I see it now. A Forest Service. Yeah, I can see one set of blades. Our engine sounds a little rough, Chad. Probably didn't like the probably didn't like the fuel shut off. All right. Close up shop. This is in 55 Sierra is where we're at. Let me see what our Volanta rate. Oh, look at our Volanta. That looks awesome. We did a little S-turn. Landing rate, 78 feet per minute. Packwood Airport is the name of this place. Packwood Airport. But 78 foot per minute. Flight's completed. We're done with that. Let's go ahead and chalk it. We'll lock it up. Get the keys. Get ready for our long haul type thing. That's all good. Elevator checks. No bird strikes. Oh, that's the door hinge. I thought it was a... Trying to make sure I'm not missing any secret little switches. Oh, cowling. Cowling switch there. Throw the plugs on. Look at the dirt. All right. Oh, I gotta close the window. It does state save, yeah. It does some state saving, and it saves your couple different things. Let me look at the engine condition. 99%, huh? Wonder why that is. All right. Well, we don't have a replay to watch, but that was insanely fun. I enjoyed mixing it up, guys. I don't know. I think this one is... this one might be my favorite. This might be my favorite. It's so hard to tell which ones be my favorite or not. It looks like we might be starting the journey in the Barren. I guess that would be for the terrain, perhaps. You want to start there? All right. If you haven't already, hit the like button before you head out. Pitot cover? Oh, pitot covers. Thank you. Yep. Pitos are covered. I'm going to go look for some bears or something. All right. I'm going out in the woods. We'll see y'all tomorrow. There's a possibility that there's a surprise tomorrow. Okay. I just don't know what time I'd be able to do it, but just keep an eye on the channel because there may be a surprise tomorrow. But we're going to be setting up an ID90 corridor release party stream, probably starting tomorrow. So until then, you guys stay safe, stay healthy. I'm V1. We'll see you on the next one. Where'd it go?